Alex Wren sat in the small, humming shuttle as it glided through the deep black of space. Outside the window, stars stretched endlessly, each one a silent witness to the history of the galaxy. He had spent years training for this mission, dreaming of humanity finally taking its place among the stars. But nothing had prepared him for the bizarre predicament he now faced. According to the Galactic Council, he had to spend one night with each of the Zalarian sisters, or face consequences that could end humanity's first interstellar diplomatic mission before it had even begun. He rubbed his temples. The law was old, ancient, even predating human civilization. In human terms, it sounded absurd, almost comical. But in the galaxy, laws were taken very seriously. The Xylarian sisters were powerful political figures, each controlling vast territories and resources within their star system. Failing their ritual would not only be a personal failure but could trigger interstellar tension, or worse, war. The shuttle landed with a soft thrum on the polished surface of the Xylarian diplomatic station. The station was enormous, shaped like a crystalline spiral that glinted with the light of distant suns. The air inside smelled faintly metallic and carried a subtle warmth that human senses found oddly comforting. Alex stepped out, straightening his suit as he took in the sight. Dozens of Xylarian aides hovered nearby, their translucent bodies shimmering as they moved with precise, fluid motions. "Ambassador Wren," a voice chimed in his ear. It was his ship's AI, ever calm, ever precise. "Remember, the sisters' customs are ceremonial. Failure is unacceptable. Proceed with caution." Alex nodded, forcing a smile, though he knew the AI could not see it. He took a deep breath and entered the central chamber where the first Xylarian sister awaited. She was tall, even by Xylarian standards, with skin that reflected light like liquid silver. Her eyes, a vibrant shade of violet, studied him carefully, analyzing every movement. "You are here for the bonding ritual," she said, her voice melodic yet commanding. "I am Lysera. The first night is mine. Fail, and humanity will regret ever crossing into Xylarian space." Alex swallowed. I understand. I will do my best." Lysera's expression softened slightly, though her eyes never wavered. "Do not mistake softness for leniency, human. The night is not about comfort. It is about understanding, adaptation, and strategy." The chamber shifted suddenly, walls transforming into a luminous simulation. A small city appeared beneath them, glowing with miniature lights. "Your task," Lysera explained, "is to resolve a crisis. A fire spreads through our city. You must save as many as possible using limited resources. You have 3 attempts. Fail and we begin again." Alex blinked. A simulation, a test. He had expected alien rituals, not what seemed like a puzzle straight out of an advanced strategy game. But he remembered what he had trained for: observation, quick thinking, and adaptability. He studied the simulation carefully. Humans had faced disasters before: fires, floods, emergencies, and the instinct to protect, to adapt, ran deep in him. He allocated drones to extinguish fires, guided rescue teams to evacuate civilians, and adjusted priorities when the situation changed. By the 3rd attempt, the fire was contained, the city intact. Lysera's eyes sparkled with interest. "You have performed well, human, but do not grow complacent. The next sister will test a different skill. Your empathy and intelligence are noted, but the galaxy values versatility." Alex breathed a quiet sigh of relief. 1 down, 2 to go. He barely had time to process the chamber resetting before the second sister appeared. She was smaller, more playful in appearance, with a faint green glow in her translucent skin. "I am Vela," she said, circling him like a predator examining prey. "Your first trial tested your intellect. My trial will test your creativity. You must impress me." Alex frowned. Impress, creativity. He had been trained to strategize, to negotiate, to survive, but improvisational creativity. "I'll do my best," he said cautiously. Vela clapped her hands. Instantly, the chamber transformed into an enormous kitchen filled with strange ingredients. Some shimmered with light, others pulsed gently like living organisms. "You will prepare a meal using these ingredients," she said. "It must please both my senses and my mind. You have 1 hour." Alex's stomach sank. Cooking. He had never been good at cooking. But as he looked around, he realized he had no choice. This was diplomacy in action, a bizarre, alien form of diplomacy, but still diplomacy. He examined the ingredients, noting colors, textures, and subtle changes in pulse or glow. He recalled human principles of flavor, balance, and presentation. Using a combination of rapid improvisation and observation, he combined ingredients in ways that seemed absurd at first, but created harmonies of taste and light that mirrored Xylarian aesthetics. Vela's eyes widened as she tasted the first sample. "Unexpected," she murmured, tasting the second. "Ingenious. You are resourceful human." Alex wiped his brow. "Resourceful is the nicest thing I've been called by an alien, so I'll take it." Vela laughed, a sound like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. "Tomorrow you will face my elder sister. She will test your courage. Be prepared." That night, Alex slept little. The third sister, Zynara, had a reputation that sent shivers through even the most seasoned ambassadors. She was older, taller than the other two, with eyes that seemed to pierce the very soul. Rumor had it that she never lost a trial. Diplomats had tried before him. Some had failed and disappeared from the council records entirely. When he entered her chamber, Alex felt a weight he had never experienced before. Zynara's voice was calm but terrifying in its certainty. "Human, you have impressed my sisters. You are clever and adaptable, but your final test is courage. You must act under pressure, and your decisions will have consequences not just for yourself but for entire civilizations." The chamber shifted into a vast battlefield simulation. Entire planets hovered in a holographic grid, with fleets of ships engaged in conflict. Alex's task was to prevent an interstellar incident that could escalate into war. Every move he made affected countless lives, real and simulated. Alex's heart pounded. He relied on human intuition, empathy, and quick decision-making. He noticed patterns in Xylarian tactics, predicted enemy movements, and coordinated both fleets and planetary defenses. He made decisions that required balancing risk with moral responsibility. He saved colonies even if it meant taking personal or political losses in the simulation. Hours passed. Each decision tested his resolve. At one point, a simulated fleet threatened to destroy an entire planet. Alex hesitated, knowing the simulation penalized hesitation. But he trusted his instincts and diverted the attack using a combination of clever maneuvers and human creativity. Finally, the simulation ended. The battlefield dissolved into calm, the planet safe, fleets intact. Zynara studied him, silent, before nodding. "You have succeeded, not because of strength but because of courage, compassion, and intelligence, qualities that many in this galaxy underestimate in humans." Alex exhaled, relief flooding through him. The night had been grueling, exhausting, terrifying, but he had survived. More than that, he had earned respect, not through dominance but through humanity itself. Lysera and Vela appeared beside Zynara, their expressions approving. "You are different from what we expected," Lysera said. "You embody qualities our laws hoped would guide ambassadors." Vela added with a grin, "I admit I was skeptical, but you have creativity and empathy, rare among our visitors." Zynara's gaze softened. "Tomorrow you will address the council. Your place as humanity's envoy is secured, at least for now. But remember, the galaxy is full of challenges. Not all will be solved with strength or intellect alone. Sometimes the human way, empathy, courage, and adaptability, is enough to turn the tide." Alex nodded, exhausted but exhilarated. He had faced the ancient laws of the Xylarian sisters and emerged victorious. Humanity had survived its first true test in interstellar diplomacy, and in the process, he had shown that humans could be formidable, not with brute force, but with cleverness, courage, and heart. As he prepared to leave the chamber, he allowed himself a small smile. The galaxy was vast, full of strange customs and dangerous laws, but humans had something unique: the ability to adapt, to learn, and to rise to challenges no one else could. And Alex Wren intended to prove that humanity's story among the stars was only beginning. He stepped into the corridor, the soft hum of the station following him, ready to face the next challenge. Somewhere in the depths of space, other species were watching, and they would soon learn that underestimating humans was a mistake they could never afford to make. Alex Wren stepped out of the Xylarian chamber, his body aching from the grueling trials of the night. His mind, however, was sharp, alive with the knowledge that he had succeeded where countless others had failed. The Xylarian sisters had approved him, and now humanity had a chance to prove itself at the Galactic Council. But Alex knew that approval from the sisters was only the beginning. The true challenge lay ahead, facing the Council itself, a gathering of the most powerful species in the galaxy, each with its own agendas and ancient rivalries. The corridors of the station were quieter now, the soft hum of machinery and distant conversations filling the spaces between the crystalline walls. Alex walked with a mixture of pride and trepidation. He had faced the sisters, but the Council was another level entirely. These were beings who could manipulate entire star systems, who had survived wars that spanned centuries, and who judged newcomers with merciless scrutiny. Humanity had only just entered this stage, and he could feel the weight of his species' future pressing on his shoulders. As he reached the council chamber, a massive hall shaped like an open star, Alex paused. The ceiling stretched impossibly high, dotted with floating orbs that displayed the flags and symbols of countless civilizations. The floor beneath him shimmered like liquid crystal, reflecting the stars above. And there, at the center, sat the representatives of the Galactic Council, each more alien than the last. Some had forms that seemed fluid, others appeared crystalline or composed of energy, and a few were grotesque even by human standards, yet radiated authority and power. A hush fell over the room as Alex entered. All eyes turned toward him, studying him carefully. He straightened, raised his chin, and walked to the designated place for humanity's envoy. His training kicked in: posture, tone, and presence. He was human, yes, but he was here to represent the cleverness, adaptability, and resilience of an entire species. The first to speak was the High Arbiter of the Council, a towering entity made of shifting light and shadow. Its voice was a chorus of tones that seemed to speak directly into Alex's mind. Human, you have been tested by the Xylarian sisters. Your success has been noted. Yet the Council requires proof that humanity can contribute to the galaxy's order, that you can survive not just trials but the complexity of interstellar diplomacy. Alex nodded. I understand, he said, his voice steady despite the tension. Humanity has faced challenges that span our planet and beyond. We are resilient, adaptable, and capable of learning quickly. I will do whatever it takes to prove that our species belongs at this table. The council murmured among themselves, their voices a mix of curiosity and skepticism. Then the High Arbiter spoke again. Very well, you shall face 3 trials. Each represents a challenge that has shaped our civilizations. First, strategy. Second, ethics. Third, cooperation. Fail any and your place here is uncertain. Alex's heart raced. The sisters' trials had prepared him for challenge and adaptability, but this was different. This was political, moral, and intellectual warfare on a galactic scale. The first trial began immediately. Holographic projections filled the chamber, depicting a star system in turmoil. 2 civilizations were on the brink of war, each accusing the other of sabotage. Alex's task was to resolve the conflict without bloodshed. He examined the evidence, noting subtle inconsistencies and hidden patterns that suggested a third-party manipulator was behind the tensions. Using logic and negotiation tactics he had learned on Earth, Alex outlined a plan. He presented a neutral investigation, proposed shared resources to build trust, and suggested communication channels that both sides could manage independently. The council watched silently as the holograms responded to his strategies. Slowly, the simulated conflict de-escalated. Ships stood down, leaders shook hands, and the system stabilized. "Impressive," one of the council members, a crystalline entity named Vorton, said. "Few have the insight to see beyond appearances and identify hidden influences. Humans may possess unexpected wisdom." Alex exhaled quietly, one trial down. He had relied on observation, analysis, and a human instinct for justice. But he knew the next trial would test him in ways no simulation could fully capture: ethics. The second trial was immediate. The chamber shifted again, this time into a scene of moral dilemma. A colony faced a catastrophic natural disaster, and Alex could only save a portion of the population due to limited resources. He had to make a choice: prioritize the young, the elderly, or the leaders who could rebuild, knowing any decision would result in loss. Alex's mind raced. He thought of humans, of the values that guided them: compassion, ingenuity, and the belief that every life mattered. He chose a strategy that balanced preservation and sustainability, saving a representative sample across age, skill, and knowledge, ensuring that the colony could recover while minimizing loss. It was not perfect, but it reflected humanity's ability to make difficult choices with empathy. The council observed his decisions. Silence stretched for what felt like eternity. Then a voice spoke, deep and resonant. "Human, your choices reflect not only intellect but moral consideration. Few species demonstrate such balance under pressure. Your actions honor life itself." Alex allowed himself a small smile. 2 trials down, 1 more to go. The final trial was the most challenging: cooperation. It required Alex to form alliances with alien representatives, navigate their vastly different customs, and achieve a goal that no single species could accomplish alone: preventing a simulated cosmic catastrophe that threatened multiple star systems. At first, the representatives were wary. Their languages, cultures, and priorities clashed. Tensions flared, and the simulation threatened to spiral into chaos. But Alex drew upon what he had learned from the Zalarian sisters: observation, patience, empathy, and creativity. He mediated disputes, suggested compromises, and encouraged collaboration. Slowly, factions began to coordinate. He proposed a strategy that combined unique strengths: energy manipulation from the crystalline species, fleet agility from the shapeshifters, and human ingenuity in logistics and planning. As the teams executed the plan, the simulated catastrophe was neutralized, planets stabilized, and countless lives preserved. The council erupted in murmurs of approval. The High Arbiter's voice resonated in Alex's mind again. "Human, you have demonstrated qualities that the council has long underestimated: insight, moral clarity, and the ability to unite disparate species. You embody the potential of your kind. Humanity has earned a place at this table." Alex felt a surge of pride and relief. Months of training, years of preparation, and nights of uncertainty had led to this moment. He had faced impossible challenges: alien laws and trials that tested intellect, creativity, courage, and morality. And humanity had triumphed, not through domination or power, but through adaptability, empathy, and intelligence. The council members stood, some physically, some energetically, to acknowledge his achievement. Lysera, Vela, and Zynera appeared as projections beside him, smiling with approval. "You have proven that humans are more than capable," Lysera said. "Not only clever but compassionate and resourceful." Vela added, Your species' creativity and resilience are remarkable. Perhaps the galaxy has underestimated humanity for too long. Zainara's voice, calm and commanding, concluded, "This is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast, full of unknowns and challenges, but humans have shown they can rise to the occasion." Ambassador Wren, you have opened the path for your kind. Alex bowed, feeling the weight of his responsibility and the pride of achievement. Humanity had taken its first true step into the broader galaxy. The trials of the Zalarian sisters and the Galactic Council had been more than tests. They were lessons. Lessons about adaptability, empathy, courage, and the power of intelligence guided by moral clarity. As he left the council chamber, Alex looked out over the expanse of space, glittering with stars and possibilities. He knew this was just the beginning. Humanity's story in the galaxy was unfolding, and he was proud to be its envoy, showing the universe that humans were capable, clever, and resilient. Somewhere in the distance, other species were taking note. Whispers of human ingenuity spread across star systems, cautioning those who underestimated them. Alex knew that the galaxy was full of challenges, but he also knew that with courage, empathy, and clever thinking, humans could face anything. The shuttle that would return him to Earth awaited, engines humming softly. Alex allowed himself a brief smile, thinking of the people who had trained him, the family and friends he had left behind, and the countless humans who had made survival, innovation, and exploration possible. Humanity had proven itself tonight, and Alex Wren had been the face of that triumph. As he boarded the shuttle, the Zalarian sisters' voices echoed in his mind, a reminder of the lessons he had learned. Every challenge could be overcome with intelligence, empathy, and courage. The galaxy was vast, the path ahead uncertain, but humanity's place among the stars was now undeniable. And somewhere, deep in the silence of space, Alex knew that the adventure was only beginning.